Americans are finally showing their paychecks. The reality is shocking. By Nolan, Thresh. Let's like his video. If you enjoy the reaction content at any point, leave a like, comment, and subscribe. Remember, we're on the road to 500 subscribers, and your support is greatly appreciated. Let's lock in and let's see what we got.
He said, I left Walmart after 3 months. My checks never made it past $1,500 bi-week. That's terrible. That's terrible. I'm sorry the brother had to go through that. That's similar. That reminds me on when I first moved down to Charlotte, I had got on with Walmart. I had got on with Carvana. Carvana was paying me $1,800 every 2 weeks. I went to my boss and told him, I'm about to leave. This ain't no money.
More and more Americans are posting their actual paycheck.
I'm not gonna. In today's America, I don't know how much y'all make at your jobs, whether y'all get paid weekly, bi-weekly, or anything. But $1,800 every 2 weeks is a lot of people are praying for that right now. I just want to state that. I'm not saying that's the best, but it's definitely not the worst. Ultimately, what I think about the pay is just ultimately it should always match the difficulty of the job. If he's at Carvana, I don't know what he's doing. He didn't really say, he didn't specify. I don't know if he's doing the car detailing. I don't know if he's just moving cars. I don't know if he's working front desk. I don't know if he's he seems to be a trucker, so he probably works for Carvana transporting vehicles. If you're transporting vehicles and you're only getting $1,800 every 2 weeks, that's kind of insane. I would say that he deserves more than that, but
numbers are surprising a lot of people. Today, we're reacting to people sharing what they really earn, how much of that paycheck is left after the bills are paid, and why so many say they're living paycheck to paycheck. Let's get started.
What do you do for a living?
I'm a birth and postpartum doula.
What does the outcome for salary look like for you on an annual, hourly basis?
Probably around $50,000.
I'm a teacher.
I'm a teacher.
And I'm a teacher.
How much do you make doing what you do?
I make about $42,000.
This is my 30th year and I have a master's degree, so I make about $80,000.
I make about 42 as well.
I'm a resident.
How much are you making in your current role?
That's kind of insane that I'm assuming a doula is a in-house birthing mom, right? How does and correct me if I'm wrong, but how does an in-house birthing mom or birthing support lady person make more than a fucking teacher? You know what I'm saying? Teacher, and one of the things that's super, when I started understanding that, you know what I'm saying, this whole, you know what I'm saying, payment structure is fucking stupid, is when I realized that the people that are in charge of, you know what I'm saying, raising the next generation of humanity, you know what I'm saying, they're in charge of putting knowledge in your kids' brains. You know what I'm saying? Those are the people that they genuinely get paid the least. And to me, when I learned that, it's kind of very, very disheartening. It's very, very illogical to me. And this is why not the main reason why I stopped going to college, but it's just when I went, my main degree was I had an English major. I was an English major. Damn, I'm fumbling. I was an English major, and I'm not saying I necessarily wanted to be a teacher, but push came to shove, and if all else failed, you know what I'm saying, if I didn't achieve the things that I wanted to do, I ultimately think, oh, that's okay, I can lean back being a teacher. I think teachers make good enough money. Gang, no, they don't. They don't. They're making less than some of the other jobs that are not even fucking entry level. You got some entry level. If you find the right entry level job, they're either paying almost a little bit under what a teacher makes, exactly what a teacher makes, or even more than what a teacher makes. You know what I'm saying? Take into account the teachers are, you know what I'm saying, they're on pretty much all year long, and then they get the summer off or at least half a summer, because you still gotta prep when, you know what I'm saying, the school year is about to start. So, you know what I'm saying, your summer is not even a full fucking summer. You know what I'm saying? They have teacher programs that you gotta go to. You know what I'm saying? You constantly have to update your curriculums. There's a lot that goes into being a teacher, and not just, you know what I'm saying, you gotta be at school before the students, you gotta be at school with students, and you probably gotta be at school after the students fucking leave. But these are the niggas that you want to pay $40,000, $42,000. It's come on, man. I'm not gonna lie. Being a teacher should be close to a 6-figure job, if you ask me. I don't know if that's a hot take. I don't think it is, because being a teacher is very important. You're literally the person who's you're dealing with kids, and you're ultimately going to be the reason why they're able to get through life, or they're going to sink when their real life starts. Ultimately, between you and their parents.
These are about $72K.
A driver for a daycare
A resident.
center.
What is a resident?
I think our salaries are about $72K.
A resident.
I'm a
What?
resident.
How much are you making?
A resident.
Salaries are about $72K.
A driver for a daycare center.
How much do you make?
About 10 grand a year.
I am a paramedic on an ambulance.
Huh? Wait. Bus driver?
Daycare center.
How much do you make?
About 10 grand a year.
Bus driver for a daycare center. 10K a year.
I am a paramedic on an ambulance.
How much do you make in your role now?
It's around like 26, 27 an hour.
Paramedic, a person who, you know what I'm saying, if you was to get hit up, you know what I'm saying, if you was to get stabbed, if anything bad was to happen to you and you needed emergency assistance to be there, that person that's in charge of saving your life in the mean process of you getting from wherever you got hurt to a hospital, that person is making $26,000. You see what I mean? But you got niggas sitting on cameras and making content, making fucking brain rot, and they're making tons of money.
So the little itty bitty babies.
How much are you making in your role?
I am making $60,000. Teachers are really underpaid, and I hope that kind of changes a little bit soon. With
Shit, you making 20K more than that other teacher but then on top of that, this is New York, so maybe. But then on top, you're not living, like, that's the thing. This also plays into a factor too, where you're located, where you're working, the pay, the minimum wage, the wages, they vary based on location, obviously. But it's just like 60K genuinely might be fucking nothing in New York City.
And the transparency of knowing that teachers are so underpaid.
I got a serious question. How the is it that I work out in sites like this? Blue collar work, right? We building shit like this.
Building and raising cans.
Valve cans, pipe, backflows, concrete, all this shit. Blue collar work, you know what I'm saying? How the is it that I work in this? And I'm a heavy equipment operator, so that is what I operate, that is another one. But yet, I'm still struggling to live in America. I'm building shit like this. Right now I'm in Kissimmee, Florida, but I'm building shit like this. Shit like this. Dealing with shit like this. Digging down.
Shit, if y'all don't know, I used to work at Home Depot, gang, lifting them quick creek bags. You made, you know what I'm saying? Look at him like, yo, you ain't really doing too much. You get to sit down and operate rides and stuff. But when you actually gotta get out the ride and you lifting all these heavy ass equipment parts and stuff like that, gang, that shit could take a toll on your body. A lot of that physical labor, I feel like physical labor, maybe this is a hot take, maybe you agree, maybe you don't, but it's like, I think physical labor jobs should be some of the highest paying jobs, because a lot of people really aren't able to do it. And if they are able to do it, they can't do it for long periods of time. They cannot. It's just not possible unless you're somebody who's like an athlete, unless you're somebody who's, you know what I'm saying, you have like athletic, not DNA, but just like, you know what I'm saying, you're an active person, so your body can withstand the physical labor. But it's just like those jobs, I feel like they're completely they're underpaying. And it's just like, that's why a lot of people don't want to go to trade schools. A lot of people don't want to go and pick up these plumbers, electricians, and HVAC jobs, because genuinely some of those shits are some of the hardest jobs you can do, because if you fuck up, you can hurt yourself, you can hurt somebody else. You know what I'm saying? You can mess some shit up. But it's just like, why are those jobs the highest paying jobs? And some of them in today's society, those are. You know what I'm saying? Like, if you're there long enough, like, obviously if you're coming into it as an apprentice, you're not gonna make a lot. But if you're like a journeyman, there we go, that's one of them, like a journeyman, I'm saying those niggas get paid bread.
And raising the boxes to curb level and everything. How is it that I'm doing heavy labor jobs, because that's what they say. This is what the old generation says. You gotta work hard, you gotta get you a good job. This is what they say. Work hard, get you a good job, or pick up a good trade. How is it that I work in something like this and got 6 years of experience in this, make a significant good amount of money when it comes to gross pay, but yet I'm still struggling? And I'm living below my means. I don't have Netflix, I don't have any of that shit, right? Just enough to pay the rent, just enough to pay my insurance on my car, barely can get food. Food stamp says I make way too much. You know what I'm saying? How is it that I live in America?
And that's what I've been hearing. I hear like a lot of people are saying that like life really is really terrible if you're like in quote unquote middle class, because they don't want it to be a middle class. They want you to either be poor or they want you to be rich. Like genuinely, that's what it seems like. There isn't a means to being in between anymore. It's either you're making an absurd amount of money and you're able to live comfortably, you can afford to eat, you can afford to do such and such. I'm saying you don't got to worry about bills, or you're just poor, or you're just like, I'm saying you're living check to check. You don't have the same opportunities. You don't have the ability to splurge, because as soon as your check here, gang, you got to pay your rent, you got to pay your car, you got to pay your insurance, you got to pay this, that, and you got to get groceries. They're not making it easy, and then on top of that, it's just like the prices of everything seems to be rising, but these jobs don't want to pay more. And and for the life of me, like, a lot of people talks about, oh, money is this, money is that. It's just like, if money was so easy to make, if money is just like this paper that we can literally print infinite amounts of, why can't we just raise pay? What is the point in not raising pay? The pay of jobs. What is the point in not paying people more, giving people cushion so that when their check gets here, 90 to 80% of it isn't fucking going the same day that it hits their bank account? Why can't we help people more? Why can't we, you know what I'm saying, give more increase on wages? Like, I don't know how else to say it.
Blue collar jobs like this, 6 years of experience, and yet I can't live in America.
All right, bitches, let's budget. This is my paycheck for my full-time job. I work 40 hours a week in healthcare, and I get paid every other week, so it's for an 80-hour pay period. Sometimes I get overtime. This paycheck, I did not get overtime. My take-home pay was $2,208.14, and I did have $80.66 carry over from my last pay period. So I add those together, and that gives me $2,288.80 to budget with for the next 2 weeks. First few items on the budget are just things that I set up direct deposit. From every paycheck, I put $800 into our bills account, and that is for the mortgage, utilities,
I genuinely need to sit down and do some shit like this. Like, when I say I'm terrible with money sometimes, I am genuinely terrible. I'll be the first person to tell you, gang. It's like it's just to me, it's just like sometimes you have to be, even though it's not the smart thing, sometimes you have to be, or you'll find yourself in this fucking just never ending loop of work bills. When does the fun come in? When does the, you know what I'm saying, like, let me purchase something that makes me happy. You know what I'm saying? Why does it feel like, especially in this time where it's like, if you just take fucking $100 out of your check to just go do whatever you want. You know what I'm saying? To go see a movie and get extra popcorn, or extra large popcorn, to get extra butter, or you go in and go get a fucking, you know what I'm saying, eat some fast food, or go out and have a good dinner. Go, like, I'm not saying go to somewhere where it's like Applebee's or something. No, you want to go to a Brazilian steakhouse for the one time. Why does it feel like if you do something like that, then your whole fucking paycheck is fucked up?
We have also put $200 into an account that we use for groceries, and $300 automatically goes into our joint high-yield savings account. Next, this is kind of a new addition to the paycheck budget. I am going to be putting $100 into my Roth IRA, and I need to budget $42.97 for a couple of subscriptions that are coming out in the next couple weeks, and $45 for gas. And I'm also going to budget $100 for my nails. And then, because I still have some money left over, I decided that I wanted to put $200 extra towards our mortgage from this paycheck, and $100 into my maternity fund that I'm saving up for when we get pregnant. So that's everything on the budget. If we add all of that up, it comes to just about $1,888. And if subtracted that from what I had to budget with, that does leave me with about $400 for the next 2 weeks. So yeah, that's how I budget my paycheck as a 30-year-old who works full-time in healthcare.
How much you guys think I make at McDonald's? 2 weeks. I'm a manager. Don't let my shirt fool you. We don't make shit. Me and my husband were both managers at McDonald's. And
ain't that some type of life? Two people in a relationship that's both managers at McDonald's. I ain't judging, but it's just like,
and for
$1,100 bi-weekly for being a manager at a McDonald's. Fire. It's just like, I talked about this in my video about like my first job, because I worked at a Burger King, and I'm not gonna lie, like, it depends on where she lives at. I don't know where, but when I was working at BK Gang, I was bringing home more than 11 every 2 weeks as a beginner employee. Not as a beginner, but like once I start getting into the groove and I started doing hella overtime, You know what I'm saying? Like that's when I started making. I was probably making like 12, 13. Like I was always within that range. I was making 12, 13. The life of me, I just don't see how you can. You know what I'm saying, and that was just my summer job before I went back to college. Like there's her. She's literally, this is her life. How does this supply your life? How is this your living? I just don't understand like how you're getting by, and there's just like times are not hard every single week. And I'm not saying it's necessarily her fault. I'm saying no, it's a job. She's working a job. What if she can't find nothing else? Like it's understandable. She's working a job, but she shouldn't. There's no way as a manager at a McDonald's, a $1 billion corporation. You know what I'm saying? There's McDonald's in every fucking continent. There's a McDonald's on probably on the fucking moon. Like if they were able, you know what I'm saying, they got the money to do it, but if it was physically possible to put a McDonald's on the moon, them niggas would do it. So why is it that a manager at one of your locations, your many locations, your many locations, your manager is only making $1,100?
As manager, in a full month of working, I bring in what, 2,400? People are always like, why are you guys so broke? Just our rent alone is $1,500. Our car payment is $500. My car insurance, because I was an irresponsible addict for so long, that's like $400 a month. We live in Phoenix, Arizona. My electric bill is like $200 a month. If you guys just add up like our regular bills, we only have like a $300-$400 median after that, and we still have to grocery shop, gas, have money to live. We don't, like, you know what I mean? Like, it's crazy. My husband makes a little bit more money than I do. A tiny bit. Not much.
You know, I think this surprises a lot of people when someone says they're a manager. Most of us expect them to be doing okay. But once you start adding up the rent, the car payment, insurance, and food, that paycheck disappears pretty fast. I can understand why so many people feel like they're working hard but never getting ahead. What do you think? Does this sound about right where you live, or has it been different for you? Let me know in the comments.
I'm gonna show.
I'll tell you, one of the things that shocked me, like moving from New Jersey to Texas, I didn't know, like, obviously the payment structure is different everywhere you go, but I left New Jersey around the time where, you know what I'm saying, they had a minimum wage increase. So I was an assistant manager at a Planet Fitness. I went from making 13. You got an extra dollar plus I got a raise on top of that. So I was making $15 as an assistant manager in Jersey, where just the prices of everything up there is fucking absurd as is. So a lot of people love talking about how Texas is so cheap, and I'm saying you could go down here and buy a house for this much, that much, and stuff. Like when you get down here, you realize the payment structure is very, very different. And I think that's kind of why it's relatively cheap. And that was in 2022. Now shit is everywhere. Like everywhere in the world is getting more and more expensive. And it's just like still minimum wage down here is not even probably more than $10. I think minimum wage is like $8 or $9 down here. Like genuinely, if you were somebody that worked at a fucking thrift store, you could probably be making $8 or $9 an hour. How the fuck do you live off of $8 or $9 an hour? I'm not job shaming at all. I would never job shame anybody, because you got to get in where you fit in this life, especially if times are hard. And I'm saying Indeed, I'm saying you could be hitting Indeed every day. Them niggas are not hitting back. That could be it is what it is. But at the same time, on top of that, it's just like, how do you expect humans to fucking live comfortably? How do you expect a human to live uncomfortably off for $8 or $9? Like, you have apartment complexes that are saying you got to make 3 times the rent. The rent is fucking $1,200. If you don't have if you're not making more than probably $18 or $19 or $20 an hour, because sometimes $20 an hour is not even enough to live in a affordable place, a nice affordable place on your own. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes that's not even enough. So it's like, this world that we're in, it's crazy, because we're designing this shit. And I'm not saying we as in, I'm saying me. I didn't put my hand in and say, oh, let's raise the cost of fucking everything, but leave what we're making the same. No, I didn't say, but I say we as in this country, our founding father. Well, I don't even want to blame them niggas, because maybe if them niggas was to look at life today, we'd have another Boston Tea Party. You know what I'm saying? We like, genuinely, we would. But it's just like, it seems like people are so content with how life is going, so content with like the structure of life, or, you know what I'm saying, they're obviously not pissed off enough to want to have a revolution or do something about it. But it's just like, at one point in time, enough is enough. We gotta like really like sit down and look at the structure of everything. Like, hey, they're literally just like driving us out of the country. It seems like they want the gap between the rich and the poor to be so big, so big. You know what I'm saying? Either you're just absurdly rich or you have fucking nothing.
Paycheck. My name is Vanessa, and I've been an Amazon driver for 7 years. I deliver out of Dax 5 in the City of Industry in California. If you look closely, Amazon's name isn't even on my paycheck. It says I work for my DSP. But let's be real. Every single thing about my job is Amazon. The van, the uniform, the packages, the routes, the rules, all Amazon. I work full-time delivering hundreds of packages a day, but my pay rate is $22.75 an hour. That's a quarter more than new hires starting today. After 7 years, when we asked about a raise this year, for us veteran drivers, our owner said there's no money. Meanwhile, Amazon is making record profits. So what happens when drivers' hours or routes get cut with no warning?
See, and then that's what I'm saying. It's just like one thing about my job, right? One of the things that genuinely pissed me off. Right? It's tough because we usually have this thing called a town hall or a town meeting where, you know what I'm saying, we sit with like one of the highest dudes or one of the board of directors that come in and he talk about, he literally just glazing the company for however long the meeting is, saying, You guys are making the stakeholders very happy. We recorded record high profit margins for this quarter. You know what I'm saying? Like the company has officially hit $1 billion in the stock market. Gang, we're not seeing any of that. The raises that y'all give for us doing so well. He said, like, without you guys, without the people here put the boots on the ground, without what I'm saying, coming in every day, you know what I'm saying? No matter if it's rain, sleet, snow, whatever, you're coming in and you're working hard. None of this would happen without you. That's what these CEOs, that's what these, you know what I'm saying, board of directors, that's what these branch managers or branch owners, whatever, that's what they say to you. That's like the most bullshit speech ever that they say in these fucking meetings to pump up something into you. And you know how they reward you ultimately, gang? You get a pizza party. You know what I'm saying? The stockholders got millions, but we get fucking Little Caesars. You know what I'm saying? Oh, y'all made a little bit more money this week. Maybe not Little Caesars. We'll get y'all some Domino's. It's like, what the fuck are you saying to me? Like, at that point, when I first heard that and I'm sitting in that meeting, it genuinely felt like that nigga spit in his hand and said, thank you for your hard work. That's what it felt like. That's what this shit genuinely feels like, to show up to work every day and bust your ass and work hard, and then ultimately, you know what I'm saying, you're bragging in millions of people's faces who are struggling week to week, struggling pay period to pay period to fucking just simply exist. You're bragging to us in our face saying that we're working so hard and we're doing such a great job that we made niggas that we will never meet in our lives millions to billions of dollars. And you just ultimately feel like the dummy because you gotta show up every day, but then it's like, if you don't show up to work every day, you risk losing your house, you risk losing your car, everything that you're supposed to have, everything that you work so hard for in this life that you feel like you're supposed to have, you're at risk of losing it the day that you decide that I'm not dealing with this shit anymore. I don't want to work for you niggas.
In our paychecks, this check isn't just numbers. It's rent, groceries, gas, our families. So when it comes up short, it hurts. It's unfair and unsustainable. And I know some will say, you know what you signed up for, or if you don't like it, then just quit. But quitting doesn't change the real problem.
And then on top of that, to those people, I say, eat a dick. Like, genuinely, like if you're somebody who's just so like out of touch with reality, where, and like, I'm not talking to the people that get online and purposely rage bait, you know what I'm saying? Because she'll post this video and then it'll be like fucking tens to hundreds of little ass kids who've never done anything, you know what I'm saying? Never went through anything hard in their life, with fucking anime profile pictures saying you expect to have a 6-figure check because you're an Amazon driver. Fucking nerds and dweebs who never got fucking punched in the neck. It's just like, those type of people genuinely piss me off. How you can sit here and listen to this woman say this, or listen to somebody share their experience about how they work so hard. They put in so much time, you know what I'm saying? Time away from their families, time away from their friends, time away from themselves. They put so much time, effort, and hard work into fucking just trying to get the bills paid, trying to keep food in the fridge, trying to keep fucking heat in the house. That's simply what they're saying. And like, a lot of people, they sit here and act like we're asking for the fucking moon. No, we're just asking for fair compensation. We're asking to, you know what I'm saying, you know, have enough money left over to just simply enjoy our time on this earth while we're here. Like, that's all niggas are asking for. But no, they want to work us and work us and work us and work us and drain us of our energy. I think that's the plot.
System going. That's why we came together. Let's not just deliver packages. Let's deliver a message. Workers deserve better. So come on, workers. Know your rights. Let our voices echo as one. Click sign up to have your voice heard, because this fight is all of ours.
Not to be in y'all's business or anything, but how much money do y'all make an hour? How much money do y'all make? I just seen this video of this girl. She was like, in this type of economy, there's no way I'm showing up to nobody's job to make less than $15 an hour on a lower scale. That's like on a terrible scale. And one thing about life, yes, people have to be more grateful. We have to do a better job at being thankful for what we already have. But let me tell you something. You know how brutal that is? Nobody wants to show up to a job and work like 40 hours. And half the time, if you're making that type of money, you have to work well over 40 hours for it to even make sense. Because if not, the whole check is going to taxes. And it's
100%.
crazy because when you don't raise minimum wage, but you have jobs that'll pay you $4 or $5 over the minimum wage when the minimum wage is already like sinking. When you think of an ocean, like the minimum wage is already underwater. You're dead at that point.
And this, yeah, she got a point. It's like, this video already running long. I don't want this to be too long because y'all get the general idea. But it's just like, the whole thing, my whole thing on gratefulness, I understand being grateful. Like I'm saying, be appreciative, because you could be in a situation that somebody somewhere is wishing for. You know what I'm saying? You could be making $9, another person could be making 0. You could be making 12, they're making 9. You could be making 15, they're making the 12. You know what I'm saying? I get the being grateful, but it's just like, at one point do we stop being grateful for that spit on a handshake? I'm saying, at what point do we stop being grateful for, you know what I'm saying? Instead of pissing on my head and telling me it's rain, you're literally shitting on me. You're literally shitting in my hand. You know what I'm saying? You're giving me shit and telling me to be grateful. At what point do we just say, nah, I don't think I want that. I don't think I subscribe to that ideology anymore. I want better. I deserve better. You know what I'm saying? At what point did we get there? Y'all let me know. It's your boy RushMoreRick. I'll see y'all in the next video. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. Remember, we're on the road to 500 subs. Your support is graciously appreciated. See y'all.